Hi, welcome to Gifted Hands Homestead. I'm going to spend a little time this evening talking with you about vanilla extract and how I have acquired my small, um, my small pantry fill of vanilla extract. I belong to a co-op that I learned about through Facebook, and it was around the time when COVID first hit. And, we're just thinking about all the things that we may not have access to. Now, prior to COVID hitting, I knew about the co op, but, sometimes I just drag my feet with things and I got to read and make sure it's legit before I kind of dive in. Well, I had no choice because we couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything back in 2020. And that is when I started to build my supply of vanilla extract, and the rest is history. Now, there's two ways that I know of that you can make vanilla extract. Some people use something that's called a glycerin, and then some people use alcohol. I chose to use alcohol because I felt like if I'm getting these different types of beans from all over the world, I needed to find a way to preserve it without an expiration date. Now, from my understanding, and I've watched videos where people have made the extract using glycerin, and that is all well and good. But at some point, there is an expiration. I felt I don't bake as much as I have, and it's going to be around for a while. So I wanted to use something where pretty much it can kind of preserve the bean. There's really no expiration. And as my extract goes down and my beans are still able to do another fold or do another batch of extract, I could just add more alcohol. So I am going to link or put somewhere in the comment section, or maybe take a still shot and put it into this video on how you can find this co-op on Facebook. And some people may belong to it. I mean, there are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people, just like myself, just like you, that will make vanilla extract for the bakers in their family, for family, friends. They give them out as gifts. They personalize the label that may be put on the jar as they give them out. But I personally, even though, I'm not a baker, I'm more so of a get down. I'm in the kitchen with meat, potatoes, and all that good stuff. But when I bake, I bake. But I truly believe that at some point I may be able to use it to barter other things that may come up if things start to go to the left, like we're seeing with this war. And if not, I'll just have it. I could pass it down because there's just no expiration date when you use alcohol. Now, there are many types of alcohol on the co-op. They will give you examples. They'll do different polls of what type of alcohol others are using that are brewing the vanilla extracts. I have chosen to use in my first batch Absolute Vodka, which is a clear liquor. And then the last three I've used Myers rum, which is a dark rum. Now, I do have more vanilla beans coming, and I'm very hopeful to maybe try a bourbon, even if it's on a small scale. I do keep my large jars and my small jars. I do keep them in my pantry where it's dark and cool. And like I said, I've been brewing the majority of my vanilla extract since 2020. And I'm looking above the camera because I'm looking at the dates here. The last batch that I did get was from Hawaii. It was nicknamed Bluebird. I only got 2 ounces because it was kind of expensive. It was 23 for grade A Hawaiian vanilla beans. It was $23 an ounce. So I kicked myself because I should have gotten more. I've only seen these types of beans come up once. I'm hoping that at some point they'll come up again and I'll get more. But the beans were really, I'm trying to stay in front of the camera, but they were long, okay? I actually had to bend them in order to put them in my jar and try to stick with a really small jar because I had only purchased 2 ounces and I didn't want to have more alcohol in my jar than I actually had vanilla bean. But I put it in a pint-sized jar, and I do label my jars, and the reason being, as time goes on and you start to use different types of liquor to preserve your vanilla bean, you're going to forget. All right, So either I will write on my top, or I'll take the label that they send on your little Ziploc bag and kind of tape it down to the lid. But here I wrote on top of this lid, and these are my Hawaiian beans. I'll also put the nickname that was given to them, the type, how many ounces, the type of liquor I use, and when I started. Okay. I try to be careful because these are leaking. So this is nowhere near, oh, you can see that right there, those plump beans. Because sometimes when they come, they're flat. And then as you put them in the alcohol, they'll plump up. But as you can, hopefully you can see that. Hopefully the light is good enough for you to see them standing in this jar. And I have them bent over because they were just too tall. But this is nowhere near being finished. But this is one jar. Then I have another jar, and this is, I have 6 ounces of vanilla beans in this quart size jar. I've been brewing this since November of 2020, and this is Madagascar grade A vanilla beans. Sorry, y'all. And I think what I did here, I don't know if you can see it, but I split these beans. I wanted the caviar. Oh, you can see a little bit there. I wanted the caviar to come out in the inside the rum, and I used Myers rum on this one as well. Let me make sure. Yeah, Myers rum. And again, I just took the label, glued it down to the top, and all the information is here. But every blue moon, every jar that I have, and I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I will come and burp the jar, meaning I open it. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Sometimes I have to take like a little knife or a can opener to kind of get some air up under there, but I will open the jar and allow the air out. First, I shake it up real good, make sure I get everything off the bottom. And then I will open this for about a minute or so, let whatever's built up in here, or whatever it is that's coming out, out. And then I close it back tight, and then I put it back into my pantry. So far I have beans from Hawaii. I have Madagascar, from Madagascar, vanilla beans. And then I have I have 3 jars of gallon size vanilla beans. Now, I'm sorry, half gallon. In this half gallon, I use Myers rum for this. And these are beans that are from Indonesia. I don't know if you can see that, but again, I may be able to open it. I can open this one. And the smell is awesome. Oh my goodness. And so I will, okay, we're going to talk about that. Now, you do smell a lot of alcohol, but I will kind of let this fan out a little bit after I've, kind of given it a nice little shake. And then I will close it back. Make sure it's on really tight. Ooh. And then, I should have done this before, but I give it a little shake. Now, one thing, I'm going to talk about the last 2, but I have so far Indonesia, Madagascar beans, and beans from Hawaii. Now, when I open that up, and I use Myers rum for that one also. But when I open that jar, you can smell that rum. So I want to talk about something I'm going to use this weekend. Now, on the website, you can buy something that is called a finishing block, okay? They come in light, medium, dark, extra dark. I believe there's like 4 levels. And it is a oak block. It came from oak wood, from an oak tree. And it's called a finishing block because you're going to use this to finish your extract. So what I would do, I would take a pint size jar. Straighten you up here. Sorry, I don't have my holder. I would pour my extract into the jar, okay? And then I would submerge my finishing block into the jar. And some people say after 1 or 2 days, you can tell the difference. Now, after 1 or 2 days, this oak block is supposed to remove a lot of the boozy taste, okay? It's going to give you more of a product that starts with the M that you buy in the seasoning aisle when you're baking. Come in a little jar, red and white box, okay? I have not tried it because when I received my finishing block, we were in the process of moving. But the extract that I have been brewing since 2020, this weekend, I am going to try the finishing block in. Okay, so I'm going to keep you posted. I'll let you know how it goes. I may just put something in the comments as opposed to doing another video. All right, so again, we have Hawaiian vanilla beans from Hawaii. We have vanilla beans from Madagascar, and we also have vanilla beans from Indonesia. Okay, now we have the last set of vanilla beans from New Guinea. Woo! And those are Tahitian vanilla beans. Now, I'm not going to bring that jar around because I have my camera propped up on it. But those beans, I used 7 ounces, and I used, trying to see the alcohol. I believe I also used the vodka. I think that was the first extract that I used. The first vanilla beans that I received, 7 ounces, half-gallon jar, just like this, but I used vodka, okay? Or maybe it was the Madagascar. No, I think that was the second one. The first one that I received was Madagascar beans in May of 2020. I have that in a half-gallon jar as well. What I found with the Absolute, vodka is that it's clear, and also it takes a little while for the tone or the beans to color that alcohol, as opposed to the Myers rum being dark already. So with the Madagascar, I have used, if I was able to show you, let me see if I can show you without messing up my setup. As you can see, I've used some of this already, and it's leaking. And I found that the Madagascar had a very light floral taste and scent and all of that good stuff, but it's still kind of, I'm sorry y'all, it's still kind of boozy. So because this was the first extract that I've used, I am going, it's leaking. I am going to, I've opened it up and I've shaken it. That don't normally happen, but I am going to use the finishing block on the Madagascar that I've been brewing since May of 2020, okay? And we're going to see. I'm going to use a small jar to pull this out, to submerge it into the smaller jar of the Madagascar to see if it'll lift the booziness. But I will tell you, when I bake with the, when I did bake with the Madagascar vanilla extract, it was fine. Like, you don't taste the booziness. It gave it such a light, airy taste. Now, these vanilla beans coming from all these different places in the world, you're not going to get the red and white box with the product that starts with the M, okay, that everybody's used to. You're going to have to understand that something that you're making that doesn't have a lot of fillers or additives is not going to be what is made shelf steady, or it has all these additives to extend the shelf life, whatever the case may be. It's not going to taste and be like the one that you would buy in the store that we are all aware of, that has been around for many years and many generations in our family. You will have the opportunity to experiment and to build extracts based on all types of beans that are coming from all over the country. All right, so use your imagination. You may have bakers in the family. This may be a way for you to use your hands to make a homemade gift for people in your family when you want to give them out during the holiday time, birthday time. I've seen people that have cute little jars, and they put their own little homemade label on it, and they give them out as gifts, and family members look forward to them all the time because you're only giving them a few ounces of your extract. And by the time maybe they make 3 or 4 desserts or 3 or 4 batches of cookies, they want more. So now you can say, well, okay, I'll give you some more, or guess what? It's going to cost you. Why do I do it? Because I like doing things from scratch. I like being able to share. But I also believe at some point I may be able to use it to barter for something that somebody else may have. As we watch these prices of inflation goes up, that little small red and white box that may be $7, $8.99, I believe it's going to be $10.99, $12.99 real soon. And I may be able to make a little profit off of what I'm brewing. Or if not, I can just use it. I could share it with my family. I could pass it down. The family, and I could pass it down to my daughters, my grandkids. I don't have no grandkids now, but there are many things that I can do with it. And the fact that something that I have put together, something that I'm extracting, something that I'm cooking up that sits on my shelf, and it's not coming from a big manufacturer, it's not coming from a big grocery store, it's something that I have made, and that makes me feel good. I mean, it makes me feel really good that I have my own extract. Who would have thought? But I am going to also place on this video. They don't advertise. People just want to join this co-op because you're only there if you know the price tag, if you know the value of these vanilla beans that are being shipped from all over the country to your front door. Not your average person is going to join this co-op, okay? So they don't advertise. You won't see them popping up. It's a small company. They're doing it out their house. It's not even a company out in Utah. But I want to make sure that you're in the right co-op on Facebook, because there's many, and they try to mimic this one company. This one co-op that I'm with, and you have to be careful not to call them a company. You do pay by PayPal, Venmo. They have a few other ways that you can pay them. It's a really cool system. And you get your beans. They keep you well abreast of when they're coming. If there's a delay, you have to understand, just because you ordered today, you may not get these beans for like 2 or 3 months, because they're trying to get them through customs. There's paperwork, there's backlogs, there are all types of stuff to get them from the country that they're coming from to your front door, okay? So most people that are a part of this co-op, like I said, they're true bakers. They know the value of these beans, and they know that they cannot get them cheaper. Now, I was in Costco, the warehouse with the big C. I don't even know if I can say Costco. But I looked in their seasoning aisle, and I think they had a glass jar, maybe 3-4 beans in there, and they were almost like $27, okay? I find, depending on what type of bean, you get anywhere between 10, 12, maybe 9 beans through this co-op per ounce, okay? And ounces vary, because sometimes the beans are really long, sometimes they're short, sometimes the beans are really fat, sometimes they're a little skinnier. And I've discovered that I've paid between $9, $12, $15 per ounce. And like I said, just recently with the beans from Hawaii, they were $23 an ounce, which was a lot above what I've normally paid for my beans. So for me, they are worth the price that you're being charged per ounce compared to what you will see at a big box store or other places that are selling vanilla beans. Just look it up. Just do a Google search and you will see they cost much more. And it doesn't take long for you to get your supply up of doing different types of extract. So for me, also, just to have these beans that I never thought of having in my kitchen, that is from Madagascar, Tahiti, Indonesia, Hawaiian type beans. They have Mexico type of vanilla beans. They have all types that come up. So what I want for me is what I want for others, because I wouldn't have to fight so hard if things went kind of to the left to keep what I have, if you also have it. So what I try to do is, if I come across something that I'm doing or something I think is wonderful, I'm always going to come back and share it. And the reason why I'm going to come back and share it is because you're going to be one less person that I have to kind of hide and keep away from what it is that I have for myself and my family when it comes to food or just survival, if anything was to happen. I try not to go down that road of the conspiracy theories of what this world is coming, but it don't take a rocket scientist to realize with inflation, these wars, everything that's happening, we will get very close, if not into the thick of the fittest of the survival. So you gotta stay woke. I mean, I post on social media, Facebook, my IG account, if you want to visit me on that account, things that are happening, articles, things that I'm seeing, and you have to stay woke. You can't stick your head in the sand and think that they're going to save us, they're going to come for us. I listened to the words of my grandmother from Billie Holiday, God bless the child that has their own. And so you have to start putting yourself in a position where you have those things that we take for granted. And who knows, something as simple as vanilla extract. Who would think that you would get in a fight over toilet tissue, let alone vanilla extract? We just don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. But anyway, I'm going to post the co-op. Hopefully you will come in. They have a lot of literature that you can read on how the site works, how you can order. A lot of times when I go into these co-ops or these different seed exchange groups, I kind of lay back, observe, and watch first before jumping in there asking 1,000,010 questions. So that may be something that you want to do, because they constant is a very active group. But they do have a section where you can do frequent asked questions, and I think they have 2 orders open on 2 different beans that are going on right now. You can also sign up to get the email alerts when there are beans that are coming up for sale, and they'll tell you how you can purchase, what you have to do. It's a very simple process. So until next time, hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully this is something that you want to do that you didn't know that you could do. I at one point didn't know I could make my own, but you can. And I thank you for joining me tonight. I know my videos have been spread out. Don't worry about it. The temperatures and the season is about to flip, and we got a whole lot planned. Our chickens are coming at the end of the month. Okay. So we're going to take you on that journey. We're going to take you on a journey of us building our chicken tractors. We're going to take you on a journey of rehabbing this barn, everything that we're doing on this land, even do a few cooking, videos and some of the renovations that we're doing inside of our house. So don't worry, more videos are coming at a much quicker pace. So stick with me. Don't, turn on that notification, hit that like button, and leave me a comment, because I see that I'm gaining, people that are subscribing to the channel. But let me know that you're out there. Just say, hey, say something in the comment section. But if not, I understand, hit that subscribe and that notification bell. And I thank you for tuning in. Good night.